Is it their lifestyle? Is it social influence? Is it unemployment? Is it because they want to belong to? So they'll be talking about the advantage, disadvantage, the causes, and we'll be creating a lot of awareness. From wherever you're watching from, please keep liking, sharing, and please tell people to join so that they can get more insight and not fall into temptation. My name is Ifeoluwa. Welcome to Optimal Talk Show once again. I have two great guests with me, a man and a woman of grace, a woman small but mighty. I'm very sorry, ma'am. She's very educative, she's very calculative, she's very outspoken. So here we have Miss Vicky. I want to meet Vicky with us. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for joining our talk show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I love your eyeglass. Thank you, ma'am. And we also have a wonderful man who is very, how would I describe this man? He's very open-minded, opinion speaker. Like, this man is very wonderful. When it comes to grammar, he's there. He's very passionate about youth. Let me use it that way. Ambassadors of youth. I have no other person but Mr. Mayo.
Wow, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. You can see the English. It's a pleasure to be here. Okay, sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for joining our talk show. So don't forget, we also have a giveaway today. So tell others to join so they won't miss a giveaway. So before we go into our topic, we want our special guest of honor today to just explain what they understand or what they understood by the topic. Youth lifestyle towards drug addiction. So should I start from the man of 10 minutes and not go Maria? Because hello, sir. Please can you tell us more about the topic? Just a brief explanation, the meaning of addiction, youth, so that people can understand and go along with us.
Okay, if I might get your question very right, you say is a drug addiction a lifestyle? Is it a choice? Or is it as a result of social pressure? Okay, the question is actually, the response is interwoven. The question is interwoven with the response. It first of all becomes a choice before it becomes a lifestyle. So it's actually what you actually want a life, what you expect from life. That's what life gives to you. Nobody can force on you what you have not really intend to do, because out of the mind you manifest the real person inside you. So it becomes a choice when you see other doing it and you fall in love with it, then you consciously or unconsciously subscribe to that which they are doing, then you taste it, then you enjoy it, then you now begin it now become a lifestyle. So it is not really a social pressure, because many people are under pressure, but they are not being pressurized with the pressure, under the pressure. So for us now to say it's as a result of social pressure, no, it's as a result of decision, it's choice, it's conscious decision you make, and that is when it becomes a lifestyle.
Thank you, sir. So can you just give us a quick one, ma'am?
Okay, I greet everybody wherever you're watching from, and firstly I want to appreciate the host of this event for inviting me. And our topic is youthful lifestyle.
Youth lifestyle
towards drug addiction. Yeah. Every phase in life comes with different challenges. Okay, and life is about experiments. And as a child, you are faced with different things, and as a youth, like we are now, there are things that are thrown to us, that life will throw to you. And if you're not careful, you either derail from the right track that you are already designed for. And one of these problem, this lifestyle, this drug drug abuse,
Yes.
and then when they abuse it, they become very addicted to it. So there are a lot of factors that actually instigate this behavior in youth. There are a lot of factors, and I would say one of the major factors is this peer pressure. So yeah.
Before we go, please make sure you follow up, and if you're having your opinion, your question, you can put it in the comment section. So the number one question we're having today is youth addiction a lifestyle choice or a result of social pressure? You're always taking it because I want it to be hot, argumentative.
I've said it earlier that it's not actually a social pressure. I've said it that it's as a result of choice.
But you know that sometimes we don't make choices by ourselves, but it happens by itself.
Why will you say choice in this aspect?
Because I want to understand. Me too. Because sometimes I don't want to do something, but sometimes life can force you to do something.
Because I'm not sure anybody will want to will just choose to use drug, right? So
okay, let me give you an instance. What about a child who grew up with a parent that had addicted? You don't call that a choice.
A lot of let me come from this version. A lot of child they grow up under a very tempting, because I would call it a very tempting atmosphere.
Okay.
And you grow up to decide that I'm not going to follow or practice the practices that I grew up to know about. So I would say, okay, somebody who his father has been sending. I heard sometimes a very popular, outstanding person in this country was saying his father used to send him cigarettes at a very young age, and he still grew up to still tell the father that this thing is wrong. So today I get to know that the man eventually becomes a very popular man of God. So is you know it's what is inside of it that is being provoked. If you are not having a spirit of anger, you cannot be provoked to anger. And even if you are provoked to anger, you will not overdo it. And that is why it becomes an abuse. So an abuse is actually when you overdo something. An abuse, overdo it.
Yeah.
So when you, I don't know, maybe you are getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and it can actually be generalized to every other field apart from drug abuse personally. We may have relationship abuse. We may have child abuse. Just like we have all this abuse, we also have a drug abuse.
But for me, I'm not seeing it as a choice from my own aspect.
Okay.
You know, everybody have their own perspective.
Okay.
Like now, I think it's a social pressure, and being social gives with environmental factors. Now, you grew up in most children, when they are growing up, maybe your parents happen to be a doctor or a banker. You as a child, you still want to be a doctor or a banker because of what you were born into. So the societal factor, I think, plays a factor, it plays a role. Now, if your father is taking, drug here is only about maybe codeine, cocaine, marijuana, and all of that. Alcohol is also part of drug. Cigarettes is drug. Understand? Now, if your parent, you grew up in a setting where your parents are into, there's one of the actress that came up recently, and she came and gave a testimony that she thanked God for her life, that she has given her life to Christ, and she's fighting masturbation, fighting what they call it again, alcohol, that she's a smoker, she's a chimney, and all of that. Why? Because she grew up seeing her father smoking. So you see it as a normal thing. You see it as a right thing. Whatever your parents, your parents are like your mini god on earth. So whatever they do is what you want to grow up into. That's why I think it's a social thing. Now you grew up in an environment where your parents send you to go and buy cigarettes. So it's no big deal. Unlike you that you grew up as a child of maybe a pastor and you're not used to such, someone say go and buy cigarettes, you're like, exactly, you will be able to distinguish between good and bad. So I would say the choice. Then secondly, I would say societal factor or environmental factor plays, in the sense that I'm from a decent home and a good home, and then I happen to go to university or secondary school. Even from secondary schools, some people are into drugs. Like Someone
It's
can be
not
as
rampant
as
in
little as
this
13 years,
generation.
and then you see your friends doing it, and like it's a normal thing. Now what is in this thing? Let us try it. And if you don't do it, you're not involved. Like the family making you feel like you're the one that is odd. And because you want to blend into the society, you want to feel among and all of that. If you don't have a mind of your own, don't have to take your stand. You bend.
That is where I want to
Okay, sir, before you continue, don't forget, I'm sorry for cutting you. You were talking about abuse and addiction. I feel that they might want to do the same, but there should be a slight difference.
Yeah.
And so please can you tell us the difference? So we won't mix up the two together.
Yeah,
because we are talking about drug addiction. So please can you just tell us a little difference, sir?
Okay, if I get you right, you want to know the difference.
Because we are using like abuse,
Yes.
so that we will know the difference, so that we will know that in abuse, everyone can be abused or addicted is. So just tell them so that people will understand where we are going on.
I think in this context, if we would like to get it right, an addiction is being part and parcel of it. What
You cannot do
What
When you are
else?
deep, when you are
Yes.
sink into
You
it,
can't
and
block out
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
when
You
it
can't
comes
do
to your
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Okay.
and
Then-
sometimes it goes out of your control.
Do you know that I heard in this country, I don't want to mention it now because we are online, most of the
We
outstanding.
don't do that, sir. So
Okay,
just
okay.
just use A and B.
Somebody
Mr.
that
A.
are you getting the point
Yes,
now?
Mr. A.
Is addicted to this lifestyle we're talking about, but he has not really abused it in the real sense. Now, abuse is when when somebody take as in when there's a wrong reaction, a negative reaction as a result of the practice. Are you getting the point now?
Yes.
Let's say, for instance, now somebody that is a drug addict, and that's the context we are addressing. And after taking drug, he end up going to the highway and begin to break the windscreens of somebody else's car, or begins to get damaging somebody else's property, or he end up go and steal, or end up go and rapes females. You know what I'm saying? It has become an abuse because the original advantage or the original reason was not has been abused, has been molested. Are you getting the point now? So it is when the original intention or original intent has been that or has been wrongly used. That is when it becomes an abuse. So an addiction, somebody can be addicted to anything. You can be addicted to hard work.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to reading. You can be addicted to a lot of anything
Yeah,
about
things.
positive
Not only
or
negative.
not only negative or whatever.
Positive and
It becomes an abuse when it is relatively done. Are you getting the point now?
Yeah.
That is the angle.
Okay.
Sorry, can I actually say something?
Okay,
Yes, just to clarify the difference between
Abuse and addiction.
Okay, there are two different things. Now, let me just give a very simple illustration here that someone can understand. You know, there are times that you have headache, okay, or you're stressed. What do? Take pain relief. I know of someone that if the person is having headache, can take 5 paracetamol a day. Headache hitting me bad. You take 5. That's abuse. Okay, and because of that that particular situation you just want to do it and get done. Someone can actually get something abused but not get addicted to it.
Yes, it's different.
Okay, now addiction is something that is you do keep doing the behavior that you cultivate that, and at some point
It's
you
part
can't,
of you. You
yeah,
can't-
you
it's
can't
very
control.
hard to come out
You
of
can't
it.
control, and if you don't do it, it's just like your life is upside down and you won't get yourself. So you can actually abuse something and
Not get
addicted
addicted.
to it.
Thank you for the clarification, my answer. Hope you are enjoying this talk show. Don't go anywhere because we've not started the hot topics. So, has modern youth culture normalized drug use? The culture we have today, when they see this taking drugs, okay, kind of is normal. Yes, even our high people that all this high musician, actress, you get where I'm going. It's not like it's normal. We say it's normal. So do you feel it's normal?
For me, it's not normal.
Okay.
But the situation, the society has made it look normal. Because most of our musicians, our actors, actresses, even our youth, they see that normal. They take codeine, take different kind of things just to feel high. Some persons will take it for boldness, you know. So they just take it as they just see it as a normal thing. They normalize it, but on a normal ground, it's not normal. It's not, for me. It's not normal.
So what do you want to say?
Okay, I'll pick up that point from the point you raised before this point. You say that because we have not really taken our stand, our inability to take one's stand has actually makes it as if it's a society that is causing this moral decay. Because we see that moral decay is an act of practicing drug abuse or addiction. You know, I'm a student of history. I read history and international studies. There's what we learn as a student of history. There's what we call environmental determinism and also environmental determination and also environmental influence. There is a way you can influence your environment, even if your environment has influenced you. You understand me? So even if the society as accepted as a norm, so as a normal way of life, normal way, you can also take your stand. Yeah. That is the way you can manipulate your environment.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take for instance, now we say that it has become a norm or a culture, so to say, that most of the musicians or celebrities are taking drugs to go high. Doesn't mean that we don't have any celebrity that doesn't take drugs.
Yeah,
they are. It's because they take their stand. So it's a decision. And when we are decisive about what we want, I have known a girl that grew up in a prostitute environment, yet took a stand even when she's in school. So it's a decision. Your Bible is saying,
Interpret please.
I don't know where I will get you.
Interpret
Okay,
please.
it is what is inside of you that drug push you to go and do.
Okay.
That means they're really cultivated. You already know what is inside of you first. Before it comes to reality.
Before you take the drug, it is that drug that will now
like
bring that
the inside brings about the manifestation
of
the outside.
And that's why the Bible says, out of the abundance of
the heart,
the mouth speaketh.
Yeah.
Or the aggression take place, or the reaction take place.
You're actually right, but you know it's not everyone that know how to take their
It's
time.
not everyone. That's why the immaturity
comes in. I
comes in.
easily swayed by popular opinion.
Yes.
By popular, and then what people say, if I don't do it,
You have
how will
gotten
they
it.
see me?
You have gotten
those
it.
stuff.
You have gotten it.
So some people don't know how to take their stand. And that's why it's very important. You know, this thing is based on family upbringing. Family upbringing is also there.
Yes.
When you don't have this motherly support or parental support, parent love, someone that tell you, like my elder brother, let me just say, there's something he does with his child. He'll say, well, they tell yourself I'm beautiful. Tell yourself I'm bold. I'm strong. Like this daily declaration. When you try to cultivate that in the life of your children, your children will have this mind and then this determination that no matter the challenge or whatever, I can take this stand.
So that's the role of family.
Yes.
In addressing this finance.
Yes.
That's the role of family. You actually have a point in that dimension.
Yeah.
We have a point.
A lot of persons are suffering because of family, you know,
Sure.
background.
So whoever doesn't have the right family that can belongs to cultivate this culture, that is why we need a place of friendships and companionship.
Exactly.
So if you know that
positive friendship.
more positive friendship.
But if you now happen to fall into a wrong hand,
That is when you make your decision that I have to want to retrieve my way so that I can make things good happen.
Okay, people, let's go to our number 3 question. I love this. Why do you feel to know experimentation from addiction?
Experimentation.
Yes, so just explain.
Okay, you know, from most youths actually start from let me test, let me try before you know it's not making sense. I like that I'm feeling. they started with experimenting. There's something that we did when we were much younger. We saw people outside and then they smoke and all of that.
So
I did paper.
I don't understand. The day my mommy caught me.
My own case was that I have elder brothers. I have 3 elder up to now. I have 3 elder. So whatever they do, I want to do. So there was a day that they all got paper and my parents were not around and we just got paper and let's try it. And when I tried it, the thing made me, I was coughing, I coughed and coughed. Then my brother was like, this is not making sense, and that's what the day I found out. So some persons can even try it, and then if they have friends around them, they say, just the first time now, when you try it, tomorrow you get better, next tomorrow you see that they're flowing. They started experimenting, before you know, they are sunk into it, they will come out of it. So that's when youth need to know the difference between experimentation and then so that to avoid or being addicted to
you spoken brilliantly. You spoken brilliantly. I would like to come in from the Christian perspective. We actually need the person of the Holy Spirit, to actually guide your SSs. Our SSs need to be guided. Whatever is too much is becoming abnormal. There's no normality there anymore. And whatever is becoming abnormal, then God said it's no longer involved. You understand? So the advice is that whatever we're doing, not to avoid just to avoid the abuse, we should always involve the personality of the Holy Spirit. This is what I'm doing, right? So we always tell you. In fact, there is a spirit inside of every individual that always tell you this thing you are doing. Like you were coughing. Assuming your brother did not tell you, did I want to kill myself? So this is how I'm coughing. So if you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, I'm not going to do this thing. Let's say these people want to move me, or I will not come around them anymore. So that's where.
And we are talking from the pastoral perspective.
Now I'm talking from.
Then when it comes to an individual, I think we should learn to know how to
what is good
between good
and bad. That is the point.
Myself, I can't just I don't like anything that will inconvenience me. I think that cough was enough for me to run from. Just flee. Just flee. It's not for me at all. So
thinking about what you said, sir, that you want to. Okay, Holy Spirit or no, we are Christians and Muslims. What about people who are not religious?
That's why I came in and said yourself, you have conscience. Your conscience. And then you should also you should know how to, determine what is good and what is bad and differentiate.
Question answered.
What about, next question. Are parents and school doing enough to prevent drug abuse?
Parents and school.
It's a deep question.
Very deep. Very deep.
Okay, just give us your opinion.
They always say something. The Englishman will say charity begins at home. Okay. And looking at the way the country is now, the way everything, the situation of this country is, parents don't really have much time for their children. Everybody is hustling. Some parents will even, take their children to school after school hours, they'll go for lesson, and then after that they can just say, okay, go and stay with Mama Bola.
Let me say this. I have a family friend. Whenever her children goes to school, she goes to school around 7. After 7, they are in school. The schools, I think they close around 3. They will have evening class. After those evening class, they will have, let's say, they come home around maybe 7 in the night. And that night,
they're tired.
They're just tired. Their parents, when their parent comes, they have nannies. When does the parent have mommy will come back, they're tired, how are you? She's gone again.
So I feel working and hustling, so that's part of charity to give that home.
I don't think it exists, but maybe 10% evidence. So what do you say, sir?
It's a pity. Actually, the first teacher is actually your parents. That's why we have the formal and the informal education. The formal education is the mentorship we receive from the forward of the classroom.
But sir, to cut you in, when are you not talking about classroom? Don't you feel the parents who are doing more harms? Because nowadays, I'm hearing they say teachers are not even allowed to correct student.
Yes, so
Yes. So it's
like,
actually
that's crazy. It's
What's
crazy.
happening?
I remember when I used to be a teacher, the school I taught, my boss would say don't flog. Oh no, I dey flog my students. And the more I flog them, they love me. And in fact, my parents would say I want Auntie Victoria to be my child's lesson. But they know that even though the parents would tell me I should not flog, I will still flog. When I flog, I say, if your mother comes, tell your mother that I flogged you. Sometimes the parents will be around, I will still flog the children. And I say, ma, your child did, and I flog the child. I say, yes, thank you, flog him very well. Or don't be, ma, no more, me, I did not go, or something like that. But they know that my flogging them is with love. You should learn to differentiate. All the school I taught, myself, I flog. But I don't know why the educational system is saying we shouldn't flog, we shouldn't correct the students. And that's why there's a great menace in the society. Great menace in the society. So that part of teachers correcting students is already
Now,
nosediving.
the parent could not beat their child, could not correct their child. Now, the system did not also allow the teacher to correct the
Children.
child. So it becomes a very complicated issue. So I think the angle will come from is that there is what we call personal education. If they don't allow our informal or formal education to work, then you need a personal education.
So how do we get that personal education?
You can develop yourself.
That is if you are willing to develop yourself,
That is
right?
when the willingness is there, and that's why the choice comes in. So I have seen in the same school where some have those young boys and girls, or most of them practice their frenzy and boyfriend.
Yeah.
Some of them even during the end of the bar, I've seen them bring raw alcohol drinks. They are drinking. Are you getting the point now?
They are just watching them now.
They are doing this in their home. But still, there are still some among them that will still preach for their fellow students in the assembly hall.
They will stand out.
So it's just good to stand out.
Stand out.
Despite that the fact the government is not helping.
Yeah.
The homes is not helping. The educational system
It's
is
not
not
even
helping.
helping.
So what is the meaning of education in the real sense?
Okay.
Education in the real sense actually means what you come to know or find out by yourself, not what you have been told. That's the meaning of education. Because the system will keep confusing you. We keep making things difficult for you. So until you come to the consciousness that this is what I want out of life.
It's even bad that some school will ask you to sign that if you beat a child, they are going to sue you.
It happened to me when I was teaching.
Parents don't have time to correct their children. They don't have time to correct. Yeah, they will say you don't flog them.
Because of flogging, I landed in the police station.
Really?
I tell you. But I was able to go because we had to come out of it because even the person that was in charge of the case messed it up because this is not case that parents need to be blamed at,
Because he's a good man though. If some police is not here,
because that means we still have good people in some places.
Yeah.
So I can correct some error.
Yeah.
Even the parents or the teacher or whoever.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, parents are not even helping.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do.
And they're always too busy, over busy. And this is a shout out to every parent, please. Have time for your children. Children are going through a lot. They need you. They need you to be there for them. There are times that these children go to school and they are faced with different challenges and they need someone to talk to. But mommy comes back tired or in the kitchen, daddy comes back carrying the newspaper. The children are just there. Nobody to talk to. So whatever comes. They go into depression.
And also, sorry,
Yes.
I wanted to say this before I forget.
Okay.
Please, it's good for parents, also viewers who are listening or wherever you may be following us from. It's good for you to watch consciously what
your children are
doing, even outside your premises.
Exactly.
Because most of these students, most of these youths nowadays that we are trusting that my child cannot do this, my child cannot do that, they've gone far.
They've done way worse.
So you may be thinking they are not.
Think.
So they have gone far. Most of what they see, what
And
they
the
are
funny
doing.
thing is that these parents, some of them, they know that their children are into this.
Okay.
But when a situation comes, my child cannot. There was a particular school I taught, and there's this thing. I'm online, so I don't want to mention the name of the school. The child is into this masturbation.
Okay.
She can be in the class. Yes. I think she was in GSS.
Okay, a lady.
A child. Yeah. She was in GS1. She would just stay in the class and start masturbating herself in the class. And at some point, she would start touching her neighbor, her classmate. And when they go to report, the issue, the teacher will change the child and change. But how long? So when they'll take the child to the parents say, no, my child cannot do this thing, or the parents will fight and all of that. But being that the owner of the school is a very nice person, the person can like, and just let us work on it to change this child's life. That's how they manage this child in JSS3. When the thing got so bad, they invited the parents. No, my child cannot. When I had a time to have this one-on-one section, for something I do, I called my students, those that I know they have challenge. I try to give them a listening ear. Most of them, they are going through, like I was trying to say the other time, your children are going through a lot and they need you to talk to. But when you're not there, they can go to any other option. So when I had a one-on-one section, the girl said she was introduced into that by her cousin. And then the mother is aware of this. But because of the shame and all of that, that kind of child, I think that kind of child needs help. You understand? And sometimes we don't know what our children are watching.
Yes.
There's a particular child in my custody currently. When that child comes to me, and I see the child laughing and all of that, I'll just stand and walk past the child. I'll see what the child is viewing. It's not my child. Yes, it's not my child. Yes, I'll see what the child is viewing. The day I came in, I tried to like this. I kept quiet. What I mean? Nothing. I was trying to like.
So they even know what they are doing is wrong, but they will keep on doing it because nobody is there to correct them.
Exactly. So parents need to be there for their children. They need to. And schools, let me just be frank. Schools are not helping. What school do is just to teach and get out. Just academic writing. There's no practical. I just say, don't take drugs, don't do this and not. But what about the practical life? I think there should be more practicals. Take them to rehabilitation home. They should see people that are going through pain. You know, when all those people that are going through that rehabilitation and all those therapy things, they go through pain. Take them there. They should see with their eyes. So they will not have the mind of being involved.
Yes.
You know. So I think.
Okay, let's go to our number 5 question. How does social media glamorize drug among youth?
That's a very crucial question. You want to respond there?
No, sir.
Okay. There's a saying that the goodies of the 21st century social media influence is more of negative value. It's more of blessing. It's more of a cause. Let me put it that way. Cause than blessing. I think. To buttress what we were saying at that time, that a child was watching pornography or whatever, or was masturbating or whatever, it may be as a result of the fact that she had been watching that over and over. I think you see, we have messed it up, even as parents, as society, and even our educational system. We have messed it up in the sense that a child, I've seen Jesus 1 primary 6 child using an Android phone that a teacher cannot use. Very costly, sophisticated.
Parents encourage.
Are you getting the point now? And it's not as if this is to help their educational pursuit. And the parent will still buy data on it.
It's to engage the child.
It's to engage the child. But the child we have sex of films, derogatory and dangerous films on their inbox, what's it called, video inbox. So it's
which the parents are not even monitoring.
Which the parents are not monitoring.
And the way you can curtail, this thing or control the view, even online access.
A parent that was bobbing my hair sometimes ago, he caught the child was watching a wrong films on the phone. He gathered that he bought for a child.
So what?
So he collected the phone initially, but because he now discovered that the fellows children that were still in the same compound were now carrying their phone up and down, she out of pity still return it back.
You are pitying and destroy your child.
So out of pity, you have to return it back.
Pity is that.
So the use of phones, you understand, is of great disadvantage than the advantage aspect of it. And if care is not taken, a child walk up to me and say, we don't even need a teacher. Where I was still in the teaching atmosphere, he told me that we don't need a teacher. Still in the area, in this era of AI, in the era of technology. I said, you don't need a teacher. So what if your parent now enroll you? So what gives them the impetus is because of this You know,
The phone we
I say there is nothing they want to find out that they cannot
Don't
find
find on
the
phone.
social media. Even the negative thing they can find out.
Exactly. And these children are so smart. They are so smart that even where you have not had access to, they know everything.
They are very sharp when it comes
So
to using phone.
it's of I saw an SS1 child that was going to SS2 that established a business of 500,000 naira for her parents. the guy was already doing Yahoo, and the parent could not even ask.
Where is he getting the money from?
Where is he getting the money from?
Imagine, and the parents will be happy.
So the parents have to go and buy another phone for the younger brother.
Imagine.
They let them be doing it together.
Come and shashe
So it's of a lot of things. The society is not society is not helping.
And parents are even making
And
it
even
worse.
parents there. I don't know, maybe because of poverty. I don't know what is the problem. What has gone wrong with their society.
When someone is poor doesn't mean like someone should go out of it. In my own perspective, we have poor people that are disciplined.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, it might be one part. Yeah, it might be pushing people to do what they don't want to do, but it might still be part of it. But if we can't say because of it,
It's not really, being poor is not actually.
Because these things is very rampant in the third world developing nation. In a place where they are more sophisticated, where they have the good things of life, where everything is going rosy and smooth, it's not as rampant over there. It's we that we are the dustbin. Let me put it that way. Because the phone was given to us as a weapon of colonization.
okay.
I think they're colonizing our brains with it.
So I love this question. It says, why do addicted youths keep seeking for help? We have some people are addicted, but they keep seeking for help. But even the government is helping, because if you are to go to rehabilitation home, they pay, right? They pay.
It's
I'm
true.
not wrong.
It's true.
They pay.
do. Yeah, they do.
They pay. So they said,
Why they avoid?
why do addicted you avoid seeking help?
I would like to. I don't know. Maybe she wants to say something. But let me.
Okay, let's take it. Let's take it.
Okay. Well, from my own perspective, I would say most of them they avoid seeking for help because they might not want to leave their identity. Because if they are being helped, this might not benefit probably their mates is giving them. They might not have access to, and then they fear of being clean. And some of them,
Stigmatization.
yeah, stigmatization, yeah, they might just, be pushed aside and all of that. And some of them also, like we said, financial aspects may also be a factor.
So do you have anything to add?
Okay, I just want to buttress what Lady Vic has just said. She said that I want to say that from my own angle is that there are not even NGOs, enough of NGOs doing enough in this regard. Unlike the developed and the civilized world, most of these NGOs that we have here, they are concerned about their pockets. They want to raise money to just better their own life at the detriment of the concerns people that are involved in this dilemma. I think our non-governmental organizations need to be more proactive in their sensitization, because most of these people that are even suffering from these challenges that we are addressing, which is the challenges of drug addictions and the challenges of drug abuse. Most people are not even aware. Most youth are not even aware there is a place where there is a means in which they can seek for help. That's the simple truth. What you are not informed about, you are deformed about. So they see it as a normal routine, that is a way, it thinks that it's just acceptable. How many times have we come online that will say, okay, or we even watch on TV that do we even have functional ones? Even if we have functional ones.
I'm not familiar conversant in any right now.
And this is even where even the church are missing it. We have not already talked about church. I don't want to be so sentimental in my utterances. If the governments are getting it wrong, what is our religious organization doing? If the NGOs are getting it wrong, also, if our religious organization is registered as an NGO under the Corporate Affairs Commission in our country, so they need to also accept the burden that this is one of the things that we have
church
come
is
to.
only the worst place you should go, because that is where the stigmatization is. I don't
The
know.
stigmatization, but it's not supposed to be like that.
Because most time the churches, they are so judgmental that when you do something, they feel like
they'll condemn you.
condemn.
So people will not want to bring
So
themselves out.
that is why you need to
And
get
that's the right place to even run
That
to
is
when you
great.
have issues. I
Because-
cannot say, okay, I'm taking drug, I have issue, I'm taking pastor, please. I'm taking
They
drug.
will use you
They'll
as the
condemn
case
you.
study for the next preaching.
They
They
will
will
condemn
judge
you.
It depends on the person that you are reporting to. One of the quality of a leader in this religious setting is that you must be confidential and be private.
Yeah.
So once somebody's talked to you, they come to discuss with you, that is of challenge to him or her, is not supposed to be heard by the third party.
Exactly, it should be
So,
confidential
the
and you protect that person's interest.
interests. Yes.
Okay. So the next one is unemployment a major trigger for youth drug addiction?
Yes, please, it is because when it is, I don't want to learn because I'm already
Yes,
angered.
generous.
I'm angered. When I am idle and I'm frustrated, what else will I do? I'll go to the streets.
So and I do answer this.
Devil workshop, as simple as that.
Okay, next and last question. What practical solution can we truly use to reduce youth
Creation of employment.
Employment, yeah, and then also like he said, the
Youth
churches should also,
sensitization.
should also come in. When if the government is not doing
Doing
things,
anything.
I think we as individuals, the church, the body should also come to us. We can also, a body that can help.
We are actually the
people.
government, the reaction source of it. Because we are in
Exactly.
a democratic setting
Setting.
where we define democracy as the government of people, by the people,
for
and
the people
for
and
the
by the
people.
people.
So, how do we go about it? We should see it as a personal thing that we can do on our own to bring about the needed or the desired result we are.
I hope you are all enjoying this section because I've learned a lot. This is such a great insight today. Thanking our guests today for coming to our show. Really appreciate. Thank you so much. So what one last advice will you give to people that are going through drug addiction, that they don't have anybody to feel or talk to, that they're always alone, they're trying to come out of it, but they, when it comes to addiction, you keep trying to keep. Sometimes God gives them the grace to come out of it, while some they keep trying, but it's just that they can't make up their mind. What advice would you give?
Yes, for me, I'll tell you, take the bold step. Okay, take a bold step. Reach out to at least one person. Talk to the person. Say a problem.
Shared
Shared is a problem solved. Okay, so don't just you just get someone you feel you can actually confide in. Yes, just speak it, and then I believe everything will be alright.
Okay, you've spoken well. I want to say in this regard that change your circle. Change your circle. You cannot be blind and be working with a blind person. You want to come out of an addiction. Stop working with an addicted person or somebody that has an addictive mentality. Because people they are not already inside, but there is a potency of when they see the opportunity of coming into it. So just change your cycle. Change from a wrong or a negative cycle to a completely positive cycle.
Can I add one more thing? They say change begins with me. Yes. If you want to get better, you must first of all try to determine to change yourself. Okay, because there's no one can change you except you changing yourself.
Sure.
Yes. So if you want to get out of it, you must first of all propose within you that I want to get out of this. I've determined and I've made up my mind I want to get out of it. So yourself is the first doctor of yourself that can treat yourself before you cannot think of talking to someone to help you out of this situation.
Okay, thank you, Ma and Sir, for joining. And to our special guests out there, thank you so much for joining Optimal Talk Show. Really appreciate you. So don't forget to always talk to somebody. It's not too late for you to start again. There's always opportunity for you to change and be a better person. Thank you for watching Optimal Talk Show. Join us next week at the same time. Oh, my bad. Compliments of the season. This will be the end of our talk show for this year. So see you next year, first Friday of January 2026. Please don't forget to tune in into Optimal Talk Show by 12 p.m. Invite everybody to to come and like, share, and learn from these experiences and opinions. Thank you so much for joining today. And to our guests, thank you so much.
God bless
Thank you
you.
for having
I really
us.
laughed a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you too.
So do